China's DeepSeek AI is making waves, and in this video, we will discuss an essay by the founder of Anthropic, who this week called for tightening of US export controls and downplaying the open-source AI model. He said the primary purpose of export controls on AI chips is to keep democratic nations at the forefront of AI development, not to stifle competition, but to prevent the Chinese Communist Party from gaining an unearned technological advantage. The author argues that these controls are vital to national security by preventing a bipolar world where China could have military dominance. He also explained the main innovation in AI development as scaling laws, shifting the curve, and AI paradigm shift. Scaling laws in AI refer to the phenomenon where, all other factors being equal, increasing the amount of resources used to train an AI model leads to a proportional improvement in its performance across various cognitive tasks. In effect, more training equates to better results in a predictable manner. Shifting the curve refers to innovations in AI, such as improvements to model architecture, hardware, or software, that allow for the same performance to be achieved with fewer resources, or better performance with the same resources. It allows companies to get desired results with less cost, and has the effect of motivating further investments in AI as efficiency improves. The training paradigm shift in AI involves a two-stage process. The first stage involves pre-training a model on vast amounts of text, and then reinforcement learning, RL, is used to add reasoning skills, yielding improvements in specific tasks like math and coding. He believes DeepSeek's V3 model is not a major breakthrough because it aligns with the expected cost reduction trends in AI model development. While DeepSeek achieved these cost savings, the author suggests that it was a matter of an expected decrease in cost rather than an innovation that fundamentally changed the economics of large language models. He further adds the DeepSeek R1 model is less innovative from an engineering or architectural perspective than V3. It focuses on adding reinforcement learning for chain-of-thought reasoning, which was an expected progression, meaning the primary difference is not one of innovation, but a product of the existing paradigm shift. He also argues that DeepSeek's model development does not mean export controls failed, because the company's development was not accomplished despite the controls. DeepSeek, the author writes, still had a significant number of advanced chips. The controls are primarily meant to stop China from millions of chips needed for very advanced AI, which has not yet occurred. He further advocates for a unipolar world, in the context of AI development, where only the US and its allies have access to the most powerful AI models. The author believes this is desirable because US lead in AI could be leveraged to create a durable advantage, potentially US military dominance on the global stage. But is he right? Why corporate America is so worried about DeepSeek? Just a few weeks ago, AI leaders and investors were claiming AI scaling laws were now showing signs of diminishing returns. The Nasdaq losing $1 trillion, the panic in Microsoft and other American tech and spy agencies, and the fact now OpenAI is freely giving away its O3 models freely, shows how DeepSeek has brought a paradigm shift in AI advance, while also freely giving away the model all to everyone to download and built on top. The claim that DeepSeek is not a unique breakthrough contradicts the statement that their engineering efficiency innovations are genuine and impressive. If their innovations are impressive, it is hard to see how they would be considered on trend, as this language downplays their advances. This also clashes with the assertion that DeepSeek's achievements are geopolitically significant because they are the first Chinese company to demonstrate these cost reductions. There's a contradiction between the claim that the value of intelligence is so high that cost savings will always be reinvested in model training, and the claim that DeepSeek has achieved similar results for much less money. While the author states that DeepSeek is on par with the expected cost reduction curve, the focus on the unipolar versus bipolar outcome ignores this cost saving from DeepSeek, and by extension the ability for China to achieve similar results with less monetary investment, which could lead to a bipolar outcome. But is unipolar world, where America acts as a benevolent hegemon, good for the world? Isn't it frightening America continuing its hegemony in the world? The historical evidence of the US-led unipolar era demonstrates how such a system can lead to abuse, coercion, and unaccountability. Illegal wars and interventions. The invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan are examples of actions taken under dubious legal and moral pretenses, resulting in catastrophic loss of life and regional destabilization. CIA-backed coups in Latin America, such as in Chile and Guatemala, further illustrate how the dominant power has undermined the sovereignty of other nations to advance its own geopolitical goals. The US led sanctions on Iraq in the 1990s, which are estimated to have contributed to the deaths of 500,000 children, according to UNICEF, is an example of how a unipolar power can use economic control to punish populations for political objectives, often disregarding humanitarian concerns. The US inviting a war criminal in the US Senate, double standards in international law, the US support for Israeli and Saudi actions while condemning other countries for similar behavior. This demonstrates how unipolar power can evade accountability and act inconsistently based on its own interests. Unipolarity extends to the economic and technological realms, allowing corporations to exploit user data, avoid taxes, and stifle competition. US corporations hoard wealth in offshore tax havens, depriving both global South nations and American public systems of resources, which is a system sustained by the dominance of the US dollar. The presence of over large number of US military bases worldwide is nothing but as a projection of force that enforces compliance, often backing authoritarian regimes to maintain control, not stability. This is not a benevolent but as structural violence. The influence of Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and Wall Street shape global norms and wiping out alternatives, equating progress with Western capitalist values. Given the immense power of AI, Western values will be imposed on the rest of the world. So is China the good guy in the world? No, China will replicate power abuse. The abuse on the Muslim, Uyghur, and other minorities is well documented. The world needs a multipolar system where no power has immense power and dictates rules. Competition between powers, whether in a bipolar or multipolar system, can spur innovation in AI development, as seen in the Cold War space race. This rivalry can force competitors to improve and discover new technologies and applications. A hybrid approach, encouraging multilateral cooperation and international agreements while preserving some competitive diversity, may be the best way to address the global challenges of AI development. This would balance the benefits of competition with the need for global norms and mitigate the risks of unipolar or overly competitive bipolar systems. This is challenging because it requires consensus on AI ethics and other standards between different political and economic powers who may have differing ideas of how AI should be developed, deployed, and regulated, and who will each have a different idea of which country should be the global hegemon of the technology. Could this be a reality? Unlikely. It seems we are on a zero-sum game trajectory AI arms race between America and China. Only time will tell what the outcome will be. DeepSeek has made its models, including R1, available for free. This open-source approach contrasts with the proprietary models of companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. This means that individual users, smaller companies, and researchers have access to powerful AI tools without the costs associated with the subscription models of other leading AI firms, with the know-how now out in the open. There will be more collaboration between small companies, blunting the edge that the biggest companies have enjoyed. DeepSeek has achieved impressive performance with its models, including R1, at a significantly lower cost than US companies, thanks to innovative engineering efficiencies and by optimizing reinforcement learning without human feedback. The use of automated reinforcement learning and other techniques means that costs are lower, which could lead to lower costs for consumers. This could lead to lower prices for AI tools and services in general, making them more accessible. The introduction of DeepSeek has spurred competition in the AI field. Other companies are now releasing updated models and implementing more efficient training methods, which could ultimately lead to innovation and improvements in the models that consumers use. Global benefits versus national security. The emphasis on consumer benefits highlights the potential for AI to have positive global impact, rather than being exclusively driven by national security concerns. DeepSeek's innovations and open-source approach suggest that competition and collaboration can be powerful forces for innovation and public benefit, and not just national security. Anthropic founder claims, everyone should be able to benefit from AI. However, the author does not believe that China should be allowed to have a military advantage in AI, but have no qualms America having military advantage over China.